Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back with the white set review from Strixhaven, and the first card we got here is Clever Lumimancer, which is a 0-1 for 1 underwhelming stat line, but does have Magecraft, so whenever it casts a copy on instant and sorcery spell, it gets +2/+2 on the end of turn. So Stapling seems to be good. Now, having lands is probably easier than instants and sorceries, but maybe in this set it's kind of the same. And if that's the case, and this is a brawler, like if like start casting double spell turn, this is a 4/5, which cost you 1 mana when it came down. Yeah, that card's pretty good. Detention Vortex, so it's a 1 mana aura. Yeah, that's suspicious if it doesn't draw a card. Ancient and non land permanent. Wow, Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can be activated. And for 3 mana, it could be destroyed. And yeah, and they can only activate it as sorcery. I don't know. Like, I think this card is actually pretty bad in this format because this format doesn't seem aggressive, and this is very good against aggressive decks, but very bad against non-aggressive decks because at one point they're just gonna destroy it. So yeah, I think it's a bad card. Guiding Voice, it's a 1 mana sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and learn. So this is again the tutor effect. Yeah, if your opponent, if you really need the tutoring, this card is good because it gets additional value. Otherwise, this card doesn't worth a card really, right? Like it's sorcery speed, it's not even an instant speed, so you can get a card out of it in combat. Yeah, this card is bad. Well, okay, so the multicolors are pretty strong. These monocolors are not so much here. Star Pupil, so that's a human wizard, it's 0/0, and then there's a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, put its counters to target creature you control. Yeah, I guess it's good probably with the Inkling, because that's the natural color pair with it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this is very powerful either. And it's a common, so you're gonna see this a number of times. Stonebinder's familiar. Okay, so it's a 1 mana 1/1 dog. There's a lot of 1 mana spells in this format, despite the fact that it doesn't look very aggressive, or that's what people are saying. So I don't know, these cards might just be underwhelming. But let's see. So 1 mana, 1/1. Whenever one more or more cards are put into exile during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. This ability triggers only once each turn. Yeah, I mean, this looks good, but I think the problem is going to be with this card that so the lower decks wants to exile the spirits, or say exile cards from the graveyard to make spirits, and that will grow the dog. But the problem is that's probably not starting very early in the game, like maybe on turn 4 it starts. Although if the games go long, then this could still hit like a 4/4/5 size. Well, we need to see. Academic probation, okay. So this is a double-sided card, and I'm wondering what's the other side of it. Or is it a double-sided card? No, it's not. Like, I don't know. It has a strange icon on it. But anyway, it is a lesson. Oh, it's a lesson. Okay, that's the icon. So it's a lesson that you can learn. It's a rare lesson, so it's 1 and a white. Choose one. Choose a non-land card name. Opponents can cast spells with the chosen name until your next turn. Choose target non-land permanent until your next turn. It can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can be activated. This is not a good card in limited. This is a constructed card, sideboard card, whatever you name it. It's good against combo decks. Not even. So it's good at protecting combo decks. It's a sorcery speed. You name that counter spell and try to go from there. But otherwise, it's not. Yeah, the until your next turn. It's kind of crazy on that. Not a good card. So far, White is not doing it. Ageless Guardian, it's a 2 mana 1/4. Again, I just don't think this lines up very well in this format, right? Because 1/4, like, if the game goes long, they're gonna start hitting you with 5/5. It's just not gonna cut it. Okay, Beaming Defiance. So it's a 2 mana instant target creature you control at +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. So Snake Skin Veil is so much better. Like holding 2 mana up versus one. Sorry, I'm kind of getting negative on these white cards, but I just don't think they line up very well in this format. I don't know. I need to see how good white is in this format. But so far, not much. So Eager First Year, it's a 2 mana 2/2 human wizard, grizzly bear. It has also Magecraft. When you cast a instant and sorcery, it gets +1/+2 until end of turn. Again, like 2 mana 3/2s are not unheard of on face value. This needs work for it. Yeah, I just don't know. Like again, I don't think the aggressive deck really exists, but who knows? Like maybe the Orzhov or Silver Quill rather deck is aggressive here. I don't know. Yeah, so far. Okay, Flames Core Cerebrant. So this one is having two sides, so red and a white card. Okay. We could skip this or review it here and skip it on the other one. Well, let's see. Or review the white side here. So let's see. It's white. Your opponents can cast spells, activate loyalty abilities uh, this turn, okay, and exile this. That sounds good. That's a legacy card. Yeah, okay, so let's review the font size if there's a saving grace here. So it's 2 mana, 2/1, which is again replacement level. Whenever an opponent activates an ability that isn't a mana ability, Flamescore Cerebrant deals 1 damage to a player. Okay, that's talking. Flamescore Cerebrant gets +2/+, so on the end of turn. Yeah, this could hit hard. So yeah, that's not bad. And it's a rare, so not too impressive, but you would put it in a deck. Leonin Light Scribe, so it's a one and a white cat cleric 2/2. Whenever you cast a copy an instant sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 to end of turn. Okay, well this is a mini creator of. I like this card because casting like two of them, especially if you are in the Inkling deck and like have like three Inkling and you cast like two spells and you have this on the board, they like hit for like 12. And then yeah, and then this is also 4/4. So yeah, there's stuff to like here. Flawed Dean of Chaos. So it's a 2 mana 2/2. Okay. And discard a card, draw a card, loot. That's not bad. Or sorry, damages rather, which is worse, but still not too bad, especially on the late game. And for 5 and tap, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legend or non-land card with mana value 3 or less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put all revealed cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay. Augusta, the Innovator, though, if you want to cast that side, so it's 2 and a white, legendary creature, human cleric. Other tap creatures you control get +1, +0, and untapped creatures get +0/+1. Whenever you attack, untap each creature you control, then tap n number of creatures you control. Wow. Yeah, I like this one. I think this was quite good. Augusta, I think, is better than Flag. Yeah, I'm in on Augusta. I don't know if you wanna do like Flog at one point, but I mean that's also card advantage. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think this card is actually quite fine on both sides now that I'm thinking about. It. Yeah, it's a good card. Professor of Symbology. So it's a 2 and a white core cleric. It's 2/1, and when it enters, you learn. Now that is a very good card, I think, because if it trades with something, you get the other card for free. The lesson. Yeah, awesome card. Sheria, Dean of Radiance. Okay, so it's a 2 mana 1/1 bird cleric with flying vigilance. I think this card existed in 1996 already. And for tap, put a +1/+1 counter in each creature that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Okay, this makes substantially better because you can attack it, hit your opponent, and then your next versus creature still get bigger. Yeah, it's a lot to like here. And then we have Ambrose, who is a man, a human warlock. It's 2 black, and it's a 4/4. Okay, so it's good on rate. And then you can tap it, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature, then the Ambrose deals 2 damage to that creature. Ooh, okay, so it doesn't have the 1/1s too much. And whenever you control a creature you control with a +1/+1, it dies, draw a card. Yeah, I like this one quite a bit. Yeah, I think these both cards of it, both sides of it is good. Again, Inklings are wielding these +1/+1 counters very well. Yeah, overall very strong card, I think. Show of Confidence. So it's a 1 and a white instant. When you cast this spell, copy it for each instant and sorcery spell you have cast this turn. Storm, kind of mini storm. You may choose new targets, put a +1/+1 on counter on target creature, it gains vigilance. Yeah, I don't know how much you can storm off with this, and then what is the, yeah. It counts others, so if you do like 3 counters for 2 mana, that's probably not bad. But yeah, but 2 counters for 2 mana, that's not impressive. Yeah, I think this card is just not good. Stone Rise Spirit, so it's 2 mana flying 1/2 Spirit Bird, and for 4 mana exile card from your graveyard. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. Yeah, this I think is very good. Like again, the lore hold um, versus cool rewards you from things leaving the graveyard. This does that and gives you extra, like gives those 3/2 spirit tokens flying. Yeah, I think this is quite good. Strict Proctor, so it's 2 mana 1/3 spirit cleric with flying. Whenever a permanent entering causes a trigger, the ability to trigger, counter the ability unless its controller pays 2. Okay, I don't know again how much aggression is in this set. But yeah, this is strictly shutting that down, that's for sure. And yeah, but it's symmetrical, so you need to watch out for your deck building for that. Study Break, it's a 2 mana common instant, tap up to 2 target creatures, and you learn. Okay, so this is a little bit of a mini fog effect with a learn on it. Yeah, again, not an impressive card, but who knows, sometimes that might make a cut. Thunderous Orator, so it's a 2 mana core wizard, 2/2 with vigilance. Alright, that's quite the grisly buff for you. And whenever this creature attacks, it gains flying until end of turn if you control a creature with flying. Or the same issue is first strike, double strike, that's such indestructible lifelink, menace, and trample. So it picks up the ability of your choice essentially. Yeah, I'm in on this. This is quite a good two drop. Elite Spellbinder. So that's also amazing, I think, in the Inkling deck, and it's good in Legacy too. So human cleric, 2 and white, flying 3/1. It's very odd. When this creature enters, look at target opponent's hand. You may exile an opponent card from it for as long as this card remains exiled. Its owner may play it. A spell costs this way, costs 2 more to cast. Yeah, so it delays your opponent pretty substantially. Yeah, Expel, it's a 2 and a white instant exile target tap creature. Yeah, I think this is solid removal. Nothing wrong with that. Mavinda, Student Advocate. So that's a mythic 2/3 flyer for 3 Bird Advisor. That's already decent, I think. And for 0, you may cast target instant sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that spell doesn't target a creature you control, it costs 8 more to cast this way. If that spell would be put into the graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only once each turn. So, combat tricks you can do for 0, so for free. Basically, you can recast them once, which is amazing, and then anything else like removal costs you 8 more mana. Yeah, this has to be quite a cheap removal to get out, but overall, this can generate a lot of card advantage. I think this card is quite good. That's like a B plus level card. Mila, Crafty Companion. So this is a double-sided card. On the front side, it's a 1 white legendary creature fox, 2/3. Whenever an opponent attacks one or more planeswalker you control, put a loyalty counter on each planeswalker you control. Okay. And whenever a permanent you control becomes the target of spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Yeah, this is fantastic already. And this is a mythic for a reason. And it turns into a planeswalker, which is Luca Wavai Bonder. It's a 4 red, and for +1, also it enters with 5 loyalty. And for +1, you may discard a card if you draw a card. If a creature was discarded this way, you draw 2 cards, which is quite good, I would say. And -2, return target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, but it's only temporary because you exile it in the next upkeep. And then for -7, you get an emblem. Whenever a creature you control enters, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Wow. Once you get the emblem, it's very hard to lose a game. So there's that. Yep, it's a very good card. Yeah, well, needless to say, this is like kind of like an A. Pilgrim of the Ages. It's a 3 mana spirit, 2/1, and it doesn't fly notably. But this creature enters, you may search your library for brains, reveal it, and put it on your hand, then shuffle. So it's a good 2 for 1. And return this card from your graveyard to your hand for 6 mana. Okay, I think this card is good actually. Like in a long drawn out format, it gets your lands out of the deck, you can return it, it could be used to block. Yeah, it's a lot to like here. Reuse to memory, so it's a 1 white lesson sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent. Its contracts a 3/2 spirit creature token. Yeah, so these cards are actually not that good. Although in this format, this might actually be better. Definitely as a lesson and silver bullet in the sideboard, this card is not bad. It's not embarrassing at all. Because sometimes the thing what you hit is gonna be way more important than the 3/2, even though the 3/2 is in normal formats is a good body. But I think here it's just gonna disappear at one point. So yeah, this card's good. Secret Rendezvous. So it's a 1 white sorcery. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards. No, this is absolutely unplayable. You never put in your deck. This is a commander card. That's it's not playable in limited. Selfless Glyph Weaver. So it's 2 and a white for a human cleric 2/3. And exile this creature. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Wow, it's quite the ability, and it could become deadly vanity if cast from the other side, and it's 5 black, so 8 mana, ladies and gentlemen. and you can choose a creature or planeswalker, then destroy all the creatures and planeswalkers. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. That's like kind of like a one-sided board wipe. Now, mind you, you're gonna lose some creatures, but your best creature will stay, and everything else dies. Yeah, something you want in a game, or wouldn't mind at least. Sparring Regiment 2 and a white. It's an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, you learn. And whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature and untap it. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's that. Yeah, I think this one might be good. It's an enchantment too, right? So this thing always happens. Yeah, it's amazing with Inkling too. Yeah, there's Inkling probably on the art, and learns to replace itself. Yeah, no, this card is very, very good. Yeah, I'm in on that one. Combat Professor, 4 mana, 3 and a white, bird cleric with flying, 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance. Yeah, it's good in the Inkling deck, I would think. Yeah, it also flies. Yeah, I mean, it's not impressive, but I think sometimes it feels in a little bit. Defend the campus. So this is 4 mana for an instant. Creatures you control get +1/+1 to end of turn. Or you can destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. So smite the monstrous, or like a mini overrun or whatever, or morale. It used to be that card. But yeah, this card is good. I think like the versatility gives it a lot. I like this card. It's a common. Dueling Coach. So it's a 4 mana human monk. It's a 2/2. Whenever this creature enters, put a +1/+1 on target creature. So 3/3 worth of stats for 4. But for 4 and white, you can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, so if there's the counter deck, then this is definitely a key player there. Semester's End, it's an instant for mana. Exile a number of target creatures and planeswalkers you control. At the beginning of the next end step, return each of them to the battlefield under its owner's control. Each of them enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, and additional loyalty counter if it's a planeswalker. So this is like a super blink. Yeah, good against board vibes. Otherwise, I'm not sure. I mean, look, it's a +1/+1 counter on everything for 4 mana. If you are in the market for that, this is a double-edged sword because one, you cast it and then you exile your board, so things can happen that way. But if it's in your turn, yeah, next end step. If it's your turn, then it's not that big of a deal. You just get the counters, and as an instant, you can sometimes use to counter a removal spell and then exile your board, and they all come back bigger. The opponent lost the card, so that will feel for them that they fell behind quite a bit on that, I think. Pillar Drop Rescuer, so it's a 5 mana 2/2 Flying Spirit Cleric, which is not impressive stat line, but when it enters, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, this card is quite good actually now that I'm reading. Because you get 5 mana worth of stats, a little more actually, like 6 mana worth of stuff, because Windrake is like 3 mana and a 3 drop on top of it, and it's a 2 for 1. Yeah, I'm in on this card. This is a very good card. Devastating Mastery. So this is 2 white, 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 white. So this is probably going to a mono white deck if that's a thing. And it's a sorcery. You may pay 2 white, white rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Okay. If 2 white, white cost was paid, an opponent chooses up to 2 non-land permanents they control and returns them to their owner's hand, and otherwise destroy all non-land permanents. So yeah, so your opponent gets a good deal for 4 mana, or you can cast it for 6 and then everything dies. Yeah, it's an interesting board wipe. I think if your opponent has a super aggro draw on you, then this can save you from there. But they are not gonna lose all their boards because you keep they can keep 2 of them. But if the game again grindy goes on and then they have more than you do, then you just swipe the board and get the card advantage that way. Yeah, I mean I think it's a reasonable board wipe. Like it's not impressive or anything, but it's a board wipe. You probably play it if your mana allows to do such a thing. So yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and see you in the upcoming Blue Set review.